Okay, so this was the go-home show before Money in the Bank, as well as the debut of the Wyatt family, finally. So, of course, Raw begins with Vicky Guerrero in the ring with a ladder, discussing her performance evaluations going to be coming up. Okay? Uses the ladder of the analogy as to how she's climbed her way up over the years that she's been in the E. And then she decides to take the 7 participants for the All-Star Money in the Bank, put them into matches. Of course, no Rob Van Dam, because he's not going to show up until Philly. So you get Daniel Bryan, Sheamus. Ridiculous match. Great match. These two guys have sick chemistry. You get 2 great workhorses. You get a solid match with Daniel Bryan getting the pinfall. Brilliant match. He beat Sheamus. Worked beautifully. Christian took on Kane. Decent match. You know. Kane, chokeslam, 1, 2, 3. Okay, pretty good. Your main event match was Orton, Punk. These two guys had a feud back when Orton had when Punk had the new Nexus, feuding with Orton up into WrestleMania a couple years ago. It was a decent feud then, but these two guys, again, 2 good workhorses. It appears that Orton finally cares to be in the ring again. Nice back and forth, good counters here and there. Punk, GTS, gets the 1, 2, 3. Alright. It was pretty good. It was nice and solid. You also had a match where the Shield took on Tons of Funk. The Shield now is the pre-show for Money in the Bank. Lets you know how stacked that card is when the tag belts, where it's the Shield versus the Usos, that actually is your free show. Not a bad match with Tons of Funk. You can tell the 2 teams did not have chemistry. There's a sequence where it was Roman Reigns and Brodus Clay. Roman Reigns goes for a Samoan drop. Brodus Clay counters it into kind of sliding down the back, going to a schoolboy. Just felt really weird, like they didn't quite rehearse it well enough. And the next spot was kind of a headlock into the side belly to back suplex. It just did not gel well at all. But of course, nice, good ending to the match. You saw a really solid spear to hit Sweet Tea. 1, 2, 3. Oh, decent match. It really seemed like there was going to be a match between Team Rhodes Scholars and Antonio, Cesaro, and Jack Swagger. Those guys all got together to discuss their ladder match. So you had Damien Sandow and Cody Rhodes discussing how they're really great friends, and regardless of who wins, they're still going to be great friends. And that's when Zeb Coulter showed up. Described that his 2 guys were really awesome. Then Wade Barrett showed up, and he discussed how he was really awesome. And then Fandango tried to say his name. They wouldn't let him. And then he got cold-cocked by Wade Barrett. Now, actually, when it comes to that match, I don't see Ambrose winning it. I really don't see Fandango. I think it's way too early for him. I would love to see Wade Barrett win it. I don't want to see Swagger win it. For me, it comes down to, it'd be satisfactory to see Barrett. I still think Cesaro was just too early for it. Rhodes and Sandow. Those are the guys who legitimately have a good chance of winning it. When it comes to the All-Star Money in the Bank ladder match, I really don't care who wins that, as long as they cash it in after the match between John Cena and Mark Henry. Again, Mark Henry, solid promo work. He's not touching John. Why? He doesn't want to fight for free. It's a good storyline. It's a good gimmick. It works. Curtis Axel, who I like him in the ring, but he shouldn't come down and then go boom. It's like he's self-pyro. It seems so stupid when he does it. Took on Chris Jericho. The Miz kind of got in his face a little bit. Jericho got the code breaker. 1, 2, 3. They made a big deal. This is the first time Curtis Axel's been pinned since he became under the tutelage of Paul Heyman. I didn't know you could hype up, like a 5-week win streak This just seemed like a really bizarre sort of thing to discuss. Of course, Curtis Axel's taking on The Miz with the IC title on the line. I do entirely picture Axel to walk out with the title. Makes sense for him to drop it. Now when it comes to the Mark Henry, John Cena, I would love to see Mark Henry get the belt off Cena. If he doesn't, I want to see him beat him so bad that whoever wins the All-Star Bank shows up, cashes in 1, 2, 3, new champ. Del Rio took on Sin Cara. You can pretty much guess who wins this match. Nobody. Because Dolph Ziggler comes down, kind of gets into Del Rio's head, which then leads to Del Rio and Ziggler fighting on the outside. Sin Cara does a dive off the top. Max is kind of thrown out. For those two, I would like to see Dolph win it. If for nothing else, they did mention when he saw with AJ, the two of them holding titles and having become like a power couple. It would be interesting to see them both holding titles as they drive the wedge between the two of them. And then you see Dolph kind of go more face and AJ still stay heel. Speaking of AJ, she teamed with Alicia Fox to take on a team of Kaitlyn and Layla. While on the outside of the ring, the Bella Twins were doing, I guess, commentary. They had mics and they were talking about something. And that match got thrown out after Kaitlyn kind of went crazy and began to attack AJ and hit with a 6 spear on the outside of the ring. That one I think AJ should retain. I'd like to see her retain. I think we're going to see her retain via DQ. See Kaitlyn just go crazy, wail on her until the ref does a ref stoppage. I think that would work. Vicky Guerrero's performance review. Pretty much left it up to the WWE Universe to decide. The Universe decided 75% as fail. So Triple H had to cover his face because he was visibly laughing. Vince McMahon was kind of pissed and said, guess what? You're getting a different general manager now, Brad Maddox. So I just saved you like 20 minutes of Raw right there. In the back as Vicky was leaving, she was consoled by Ryback. Probably the most random person to console Vicky was Ryback. Now, when it comes to the match between Ryback, or Cryback, as Jericho calls him, and Chris Jericho, Jericho doesn't have this great chance of winning pay-per-view matches. So I figure he's probably going to help put over Ryback, which will, of course, I think Ryback's first pay-per-view wins since Money in the Bank last year. So now we're down to the debut of the Wyatt family. Throughout the majority of Raw, they had really poorly done vignettes about someone trying to go find the Wyatt compound. Why would you try to find the Wyatt compound if they're going to debut in Baltimore? A lot of it felt like someone had just finished watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre and wanted to kind of redo some of that. Had a nice eerie feel to it. It was okay. But then, shortly after the match between Kane and Christian, Bray Wyatt again cuts another awesome promo. And then Broken Out in Love hits. Arena, jet black. He comes walking out with a lantern. As if Bray Wyatt wasn't cool enough, he walks out with a lantern. If you can't tell, this room has got 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 different Green Lanterns in this room. So lanterns, awesome. Bray Wyatt, awesome. Storyline, awesome. With lanterns, uber awesome. Now, if he'd come down to the ring with like a lightsaber, Infinity Gauntlet, a cosmic cube, he would have been probably the coolest person to have ever existed, period. Comes down, sits in a chair, blows out his lantern, which I thought was weird since it was obviously didn't have a flame to it. And then his two big boys wail on Kane. And they wail on Kane. These dudes are big. They're like Kane size. Kane size, crazy, vicious styles. Made me keep on thinking, man, I wish Vince could hire Necro Butcher. Necro Butcher would fit perfectly with this group. They wail on Kane. They get him down the outside. They more or less smash his head in between both ends of the steel steps. Bray Wyatt comes over, talks a little bit, goes down into his, strikes his pose. I'm thinking, nice. And then the crowd breaks into the Husky Harris chants. And I was like, dang it. Dang it. Such a better character. I could see when you did it with Tensai and Albert, because Tensai was just a weak character, and Albert was a better character. Husky Harris really never got his foot in the door. I mean, I don't hear people going, oh, it's Ryback. Skip Sheffield, 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 Curtis Axel. No one's chanting Michael McGillicuddy, probably because it goes beyond a 3 to 4 beat. You know, Husky Harris works, that's a 4 beat. Michael McGillicuddy, it just doesn't work. Skip Sheffield. See, you can get that with the other characters, but no. When I start automatically ragging them. Interesting, was a good job. I'm interested to see what they do with him going forward, but those are just two big boys he's got running with him. So, undeniably crazy theory. Daniel Bryan's new shirt says, respect the beard. If you look at the team of the Wyatt family, they all have beards. They attacked Kane. Kane is the former tag team partner of Daniel Bryan. Therefore, Daniel Bryan probably has a really good chance of winning the Money in the Bank ladder match because the Wyatt family's probably going to help him out. See, totally crazy off-the-wall idea. If it works, awesome. If it doesn't work, it's a crazy idea.